Hey guys, Fresh Cut here, and today we're going to be doing 5 more tips for new players in CSGO. So coming in at number 5 on this list is going to be turning down your settings. So in most games, especially on PC, a lot of people try to max their graphics out and they try to get the best graphics they can possibly get. Well, in CSGO, that isn't really the case. CSGO isn't a game that looks all too great, but even so, you're going to want to turn down the settings to get the maximum FPS that you can get. A lot of people do this because getting max FPS makes your game smoother. It makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to hit shots and just play the game in general. A lot of newer players, when they first start off the game, don't realize this, and I think actually Valve starts you off with your settings cranked all the way up. So even if you have a good PC, I really recommend turning down your settings. It will help you out a lot, and you'll notice that everything gets a little bit easier. Some of the things that you can turn up are possibly things like shader and textures. If you want to look at your knives and stuff like that, try to turn those up to about medium. That's what I would recommend. Even still, you should still be getting a really good FPS there, but I recommend turning off things like, anti-filtering and all that kind of bullshit. Just turn it off or turn it all the way down to low. It will increase your FPS a lot, and it will definitely help you play a little bit better, in my opinion. Back to the point though, even if you have a good PC, you should do this. I know a lot of people with good PCs who also play the game on very low settings just to get the maximum FPS that you can get. If you have a 144Hz monitor, trying to get over 144 FPS is absolutely crucial. So even if you don't though, you're still going to want to try to get around somewhere between 100 and 200 FPS if you can on your computer. The mistake a lot of people make though is they have good computers and they assume, hey, I can run the game in 100 FPS, which is normally really good for most games. But in CSGO, the really sweet spot, in my opinion, is somewhere around 150 to 200. So even if you are getting 100 FPS, you still might want to try to lower your settings a bit to try to squeeze just as much FPS out of the game as you can possibly get. CSGO isn't a very hard game to run, so even if you have a decent PC, you should be able to do this just by lowering your settings. And if you have a crappy PC, you definitely need to turn down your settings because you have a crappy PC, and if you can't run the game correctly, you're going to be at a huge, and yes, a huge disadvantage against other players who do have good PCs and who can actually run the game correctly. Number 4 on this list is not really going to be one to help you get better at the game, but it's going to be one that will help save your wallet, and that is do not open cases. And I don't really recommend opening cases in CSGO for a few reasons. The main one being that you're probably not going to get the item you want, and you're probably not going to get the knife, and you're probably going to end up wasting a lot of money. So when I've been playing CSGO, I've spent maybe a few $100s on cases over the past few years, and I've literally never gotten a knife, and I think I've literally only got 3 or 4 reds. Literally nothing that has been worth that much. I don't think I've gotten anything that's been worth over $50, so rip me. But yeah, opening cases sounds like a good idea when you first get the game because you're looking at all these people with your nice skins and you're like, oh, I actually want one of those, but I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars, so you know what, I'm just going to open cases and hopefully I'll get one. Well, I'm telling you right now, that's a bad idea. You're really going to waste a lot of money. I even have another video talking about should you open cases, and pretty much in that video, I'm going to save you the trouble, and I said no. I said it's absolutely not worth it. This is something that entices a lot of newer players. I feel like veteran players kind of know not to really open cases unless you're okay with losing money, which some people are. So if you want to lose money, open cases. That doesn't mean, though, that you don't have to play with any skins, and it doesn't mean you can get any skins. You can go on sites like OP Skins, which I recommend. I personally don't recommend the Steam market. I feel like everything there is possibly even a little bit overpriced. You can go on something like OP Skins or Bit Skins or even GameFlip, and you can get skins for really cheap compared to their Steam market values. It's definitely recommended to go there just to buy the skin outright that you want, because in the long run, if you're trying to get that skin by doing cases and trading them and stuff, it's either A, going to take way too long, or B, you're going to waste a ton of money trying to get it when you could probably get the skin on OP Skins for somewhere like 10 to 15 bucks. Trust me, buying skins outright in the long run is the best thing to do. You can continually trade up. I know a lot of people in the trading community, they like to trade things up. It's like a hobby of theirs. So I definitely recommend, if you're new to the game, possibly learning about trading if you want to get some of those high tier items, because paying for them outright is really expensive if you're buying some really high tier shit, and also opening cases can get really expensive as well. So if you want some low tier shit, definitely just buy it on something like OP Skins. That's what I recommend. Opening cases will just rip your wallet, and definitely something that I wish I knew when I was starting out the game. Number 3 on this list is going to be lots of DMs. So most likely, if you're watching this video, that means you're new to CSGO, and if you're new to CSGO, that also means most likely that you suck at aiming. And if you suck at aiming, the only way to really improve that is to practice. And one of the ways you can practice is to go to deathmatch servers or DM servers, and a lot of you are newer to the game, so you're probably going to hop into the Valve DM, but I really don't recommend that. I recommend going to play and then browse House community servers, typing into the tags DM and trying to find a 128-tick deathmatch server. If you don't know how to do this, I recommend looking it up, because when you play on here, there's no teams, unlike Valve DM, which for some reason seems more like team deathmatch, but it's a free-for-all. You're going to get more encounters. Also, the servers are a bit better, and it's definitely just better overall. Your time is way better spent there for the sheer fact that you're going to get way more interactions than you would in the Valve DM. You're saving time, and you're probably going to end up playing against better players. In the Valve DM, I feel like a lot of people fuck around. It's not really meant for training. Also, aim maps are another thing that you can download that should help you out a lot. Aim maps can be downloaded off the Steam Workshop, and pretty much what they are is they're community-made maps that are specifically designed by aim. Normally, it's going to have you killing bots or shooting targets. These are really, really helpful. There are plenty of aim maps out there. A few of them that I recommended are in some of my other videos about getting your aim better. I recommend watching those if you want to solely get your aim better. Also, you can just search. There's plenty of them. Everyone has their own personal preferences. Aim_bots would be my favorite in my opinion, but definitely feel free to check them out, experiment with them, because that means that you're hopefully going to get your aim a bit better. Also, remember that aim doesn't happen overnight. You can't DM one day and then literally be like Scream the next day. It's going to take a while. It's going to take weeks, if not months, possibly even years if you want to get to that god tier level aim. Trust me, it's all a process, and all you have to do is continue to practice, and you will eventually get better. Because I know when I was a lower rank, I was thinking, oh, I'm never going to get better. I'm never going to get good. Why even bother practicing? But trust me, if you do it, you'll definitely see it in the long run, and it will definitely help you out and make you a fairly good player. Number 2 on this list is going to be trying to play with others. So if you're new to the game and you really don't know what you're doing, trying to play with others is probably the best thing that you can do. Trying to play with other people that you know who probably won't flame on you when you get into matchmaking is preferably the best thing for you to do. Normally what happens with new players is they'll end up solo queuing, they'll go into matchmaking, and then they'll get kicked or they'll get yelled at by their teammates for not really knowing too much about the game, and that's honestly disappointing. I understand why the teammates are mad, and I also understand why you thought you would just hop into competitive matchmaking, but normally what I recommend is playing with some friends that you know that possibly have the game, and that should hopefully help you out. You guys can work together. You don't have to worry about being kicked. You don't really have to worry about a lot of the bullshit that comes with the toxicity that is matchmaking, because I've seen it multiple times where new players will tell me that they hopped into a game, and what will end up happening is the team will get mad that they don't really know the callouts or aren't really that good at the game, and those teammates will end up kicking them because for whatever reason they think a bot is better. And guys, if you're out there watching, normally the bot isn't fucking better. The bot sucks ass, so please don't do that. Don't kick newer guys from the game. Just try to teach them how to play the game, try to help them out, and definitely try to queue with friends. It's something that you should definitely do. If you're newer to the game, though, you might actually have friends that don't play the game, and that would be actually really disappointing. So what I'm going to recommend for you is to go to reddit.com/r/recruitcs, and on there are a lot of people. They're looking for teams, or they're looking for just people to play matchmaking with. You can post your rank there, you can post your region, and normally people will end up adding you. This is how I actually ranked my way up, all the way up to around DMG level, was just going on here, finding people to play with, and normally the people who play there are normally a bit better because they're actually searching for people to play with, because they're sick of playing with randoms. So definitely go there. You'll definitely find some good teammates, possibly even find some friends. It's really cool to see that the CSGO community has all these subreddits for finding teams or helping people get better at the game. Another one I recommend is /r/adopt2silver. I said this in another video. Pretty much what it is someone will, they'll pretty much train you, like a global elite or someone of higher rank will just train you to get better at the game. It's really interesting though, but Recruit CS and Adopt2Silver are definitely two I recommend for finding teammates and just finding people who want to play the game with you, and it will definitely help you out if you really don't have any friends who have the game, because I know a lot of people are in that situation. Number 1 is use your mic, and this is something that makes me really angry with newer players. It's the fact that they don't use their mic. Using your mic is a very, and I mean very important part of CSGO. If you're not using your mic, then your team will not know where the people are coming from, they won't know where the callouts are, and as you guys know, teamwork is very important in CSGO. Giving out information to your teammates is absolutely vital to winning games, and if you can't do that, then your team isn't really going to do that well, and they're probably going to be very mad at you. But there is a difference between mic spam and there's a difference between giving good callouts. Giving good callouts is giving a brief callout of where someone is, but if you're going on about how you died and bitching and complaining and then you're talking about stuff that really doesn't matter, try to cut down on that. In my opinion, it's normally the shorter the better. The shorter your callouts are, the better they are. Trust me, your teammates will appreciate this, you will appreciate it, and you'll probably have a lot better games if you're not spamming your mic and you're just giving quick, nice callouts. I'm sure your teammates will very much appreciate it. Some of you out there might be saying, hey, I don't have a mic, and if you don't have a mic, it's honestly 2016 and you really need to get one. They're not really all that expensive, and if you can buy CSGO, then you really need to buy a mic. People who play without a mic are very frustrating, they're very annoying because you can't really give callouts in a timely manner if you're trying to type. Also, some people don't even bother to type at all. Having a mic is a very important part of CSGO and definitely something that you should invest in if you're trying to get better at the game. It won't really make you better, but it will make your games a lot more enjoyable, and it will really help your teammates out, and overall you'll just have a better game experience. There's really no reason not to have a mic anymore, and it really frustrates me when people say they don't have a mic. If your mic broke or something, please try your best to go out and get a new one. Try to get a fucking mic because it's a very, very important part of the game and definitely something that you need. So please, all you people out there who don't have a mic, go get a fucking mic. But yeah, guys, those are just 5 more tips for newer players in CSGO. I hope this video could at least help a few of you guys out there. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to make more videos on how to help out newer players in the game because a lot of you guys have found my channel and you're literally just learning about the game. So hopefully this helped you guys out. And if it did, could you hit that like button? If you dislike this video for some odd reason, how about you hit that dislike button? And if you are new, how about you subscribe? But yeah, guys, this has been The Chosen One Inc. Thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, peace out.